I have been traveling a lot this year, and I'm going to be traveling even more next year. I've switched up a lot of the tech that I bring with me, but also some stuff got brought back into the rotation, and, some things are just staples. So I wanted to make a video covering all of the tech that I bring with me in my backpack. This video is sponsored by Bassius. Let's get into it. One of my all-time staples is the backpack. This right here is the Peak Design Everyday Bag. Now, I have tried a few different backpacks in this last year, but I always come back to this one. I have here the 30-liter version. Now, there is a 20-liter version, which is probably best for most people. I carry a ton of camera gear with me, and I'm also tall. I'm 6'2", so small backpacks kind of look a little weird on me, but I mostly have the 30-liter version because I carry a lot of stuff with me. What I like about this backpack is it adapts to your needs. It has a shelf system. You can take some shelves out, you can move them around into different positions, you can open up flaps. It adapts to what you want to put in there. If you just want a big empty hole, you can take all the shelves out, stuff sweatshirts in there, food, whatever you want to bring with you. You can do it that way if you'd like. What's also really nice about this backpack is the side pockets. So in a lot of what's in my bag videos, you'll know people have a tech pouch or a small bag where they put chargers and cables and all that stuff in. Well, in the everyday backpack, that's kind of the sides. So there's zippers on the sides, you open them up, and here you can put cables, adapters, charging bricks, everything, all those kind of little knickknacks and stuff that you need, that's what goes on these sides. I absolutely love this. It's also padded, so I feel good putting my fancy camera in there or my iPad Pro or whatever. Let's talk about gaming. This is something I actually want to talk more on the channel about. I have some plans for 2024, but for right now, I want to just focus on kind of my travel stuff. So I have been using this guy a lot. This is the Analog Pocket. Now, when I travel, I don't like to, spend a bunch of time in the hotel room playing video games. If I'm traveling, I'm there to go see a place, spend time with people, maybe do something for work. But I am a huge introvert, and I need to be able to decompress after spending time with a bunch of people. And video games really help me with this. So I've been using the Analog Pocket. What this is it's a modern day Game Boy. This has a 3.5-inch display, 615 pixels per inch, LCD display, a 1600 by 1440 resolution, which I believe means it runs original Game Boy games at 10x the original resolution, and it just looks absolutely beautiful. It even uses USB-C to charge, so you don't have to worry about, slamming in a bunch of AA batteries like the good old Game Boy days. Now, the way this works is you just slot in Game Boy cartridges. I have the best game ever, the original Pokemon Red right here, Game Boy cartridge, and you just slot it in and turn it on, you can start playing. This has been great for revisiting a bunch of old Game Boy games that I've had laying around. I've had a ton of fun with this. Now, the issue with old Game Boy games, some people may know this, they actually have a watch battery in them, and that is what keeps the save file in memory. So if that watch battery goes out, you're no longer able to save the game to the cartridge. You have to go through and replace it. But you can install what's called FPGA on an Analog Pocket here. This gives you the ability to run ROMs. So that means you can take your Game Boy games and turn them into ROMs and install them right into the micro SD card that's on here. So you're running your Game Boy games that you own right off that micro SD card. Understand? So I have a bunch of classic Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games and stuff on here that I've been playing. I've been playing a bunch of the old Pokemon games, some Fire Emblem stuff, some Super Mario stuff. Just been having a ton of fun. I even saw that there was an update to now support Super Nintendo games, but I haven't installed that yet. But if you go this way of converting your games into ROMs and playing them that way, you don't have to bring the cartridges with you. I pretty much just keep Pokemon Red in here because I love the way it looks. It's one of my all-time favorite games. You got Charizard right on the back, way better than Blastoise in blue. Red and Charizard for life. If there's a big new Switch game out, I will bring the Nintendo Switch. I upgraded to the OLED version and it looks stunning. I've been prepping for the Pokemon DLC right now. I've also been going back and playing some Zelda. I need to pick up Super Mario Wonder, just haven't had a chance. There's so many games out right now to play. I love the Nintendo Switch as a travel device, but it is significantly bigger than the Analog Pocket. It's gonna take up more space in your bag. The Analog Pocket, and the Analog Pocket's pretty sturdy too, and I'm not too worried about if this breaks. The Nintendo Switch just doesn't feel as sturdy as this guy, so the Nintendo Switch gets put into a case, which takes up even more space. But I have had my eye on the Rogue Ally, the new one with the Z1 Extreme chip. I'm very interested in these portable gaming PCs, specifically the Rogue Ally, because it has support for Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Play Anywhere, which most of the games I play are on my Xbox Series X. So if I could take those games that I already have and then play them on the Rogue Ally, you know, when I'm out and about traveling or whatever, that is really interesting to me. I have ordered it and canceled it quite a few times. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens in this landscape. The Steam Deck just got an OLED update, and I love OLED screens, so I kind of want that now. We'll see. It's going to be an after Christmas thing. This video is sponsored by Basius and their Bowie MA10 headphones. These are wireless in-ear headphones that are approved by an Oscar award-winning composer. I was shocked how good these in-ear headphones sounded. They have both noise canceling and transparency mode. Noise canceling will cut out about 95% of ambient noise. They also have 4 ENC mics to measure voices and background sounds. The transparency mode is great for when you're out running and you can hear traffic around you and you just need to be listening for things that are happening. These $21 pair of wireless earbuds have a staggering 140 hours of battery life. The Bowie MA10s are IPX6 certified. This means they are sweat, water, and rain resistant. They're also ergonomic. They come with several different tips and clip sizes so you can get the perfect fit for your ears. Usually I have a problem with in-ear headphones because of my left ear. It's a little deformed. But these actually stayed in, and I gave them the heavy metal headbanging test. These use Bluetooth 5.3. This means you get a couple of things with that. You can pair them to 2 devices. So in this case, I can pair them to like my iPhone and iPad, and you can switch between the devices. But they also have an advanced dual channel design. So they have extra low latency. This is great for gaming. And in fact, this is how I have been using them. They have become my main gaming headphones when I use my Switch. I'm gonna put a link in the description below to where you can go check out the Basius Bowie MA10 headphones. My thanks to Basius for sponsoring this video. Okay, so let's get back to some general tech stuff. One of my favorite devices from last year that I got was the Anker 747. It's this charging brick right here that is really small. It's a 150 watt charging brick that supports GAN, so you get fast charging. It has 3 USB-C ports and a USB-A port. This thing is a beast. And when I went to WWDC this year, this was the only charging brick I brought with me. That whole week I was there, this was the only charging brick I used. Love this thing. It works great. I can use this to charge up my iPad Pro, Switch, camera batteries, whatever. This is the only thing I use. Now, on the list of my favorite tech this year is the Mophie 3-in-1 charger. It's this guy right here. It's this little 3-port charging pad right here. And it's for charging your iPhone, AirPods, and Apple Watch. This is perfect for setting up in a hotel room. But when I made my favorite tech of the year video, I had an issue that I mentioned in it, that you have to use the charging brick, this guy right here, that comes with it. That Anker 747 I just showed doesn't work with it at all. Like, nothing will power up at all. You have to use this charging brick. Well, apparently this was a known issue, and right around the time I made that video, Mophie released a new version of this whole travel kit that's supposed to fix it. I ordered it. It hasn't shown up yet, so when it does show up, I'll put something in the comments section, or maybe I'll make another video or something if you're really interested. But apparently that new version fixes my issue. We will see. But I still love this thing. It's perfect for setting up in a hotel room. So what I will do is when I'll get to a hotel, I'll plug this in, set up the pads, And, at night when I'm in the hotel, charge it up. But like when I leave the hotel room and I pack up my backpack and bring my camera or my iPad or whatever, I just leave that in the hotel room. I don't worry about bringing that charger with me. So it's just kind of nice to just set up in the nightstand there. All right, the next is braided cables. That's it. Get braided cables. I cannot tell you how many plastic cables I have went through. The issue with plastic cables is if you use them a lot, they're going to crack or they're just going to start to lose the plastic's going to start to come apart and stuff like that. Braided cables are a few dollars more, but they will save you money in the long run. They last forever. I've never had a braided cable, like the cable part, go bad. Okay, so next up, let's talk about some batteries. I love batteries. Batteries are great, and I love external batteries. I have this guy right here. This is the Anker PowerCore 24K. This is a 24,000 milliamp battery. This thing is a beast. It's heavy. It's going to add some weight to your bag, but this thing will power anything you need. It has 2 USB-C ports and a USB-A port, which is fine for what I do. It charges up my iPad and any other device I need to bring with me. Yeah, it's big. Yeah, it's heavy, but it gets the job done when there's no outlets around. If that's when I'm driving in a car and I need to top up a device. The Apple Park Visitor Center, that's where I was working at WWDC a lot. If you're working outside, there's no outlets for you to plug into. This is what I was using. Perfect example. There's even a screen to show you the current battery life on it, battery health, statistics. While the PowerCore is great, it's really big and really heavy. So if I'm just out walking around, like I was at Disneyland last year, yeah, I'm not going to want to put that in my pocket. In fact, I don't even think that would fit in my pocket. Skinny jeans problem, am I right? So I want something like the MagSafe battery pack that Apple made. But the problem is they don't make that anymore, and it's lightning, and I'm on that whole kick to purge lightning from my life. So I got this guy right here. This is just an Anker battery pack. It's super slim. In fact, it's slimmer than the MagSafe battery pack. It's light, so you don't really feel like it's adding a ton of extra weight to your iPhone. And it has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, so it's not nearly as impressive as the one that I was just talking about, which is almost 5 times, but it is still nice. Now, the issue with it though is the top part magnetically connects and it's really strong, but the bottom part doesn't, and it just swings. And if you swing it too much, it'll disconnect like that. But the top part, the magnet's strong. I'm just gripping it by the magnet right now. I'm not touching the phone, and the phone's just hanging there. The other issue is if you have the iPhone, if you have the Pro model of the phone, not the Max model, it sticks out at the bottom a little bit. There's this little extra lip. That doesn't bother me too much. But the thing that does bum me out, really makes me want Apple to make an updated version to the MagSafe battery pack, is you have to manually turn this one off and on, which I know doesn't sound like a big deal, but I got so used to when the MagSafe battery connects, it turns on automatically. When it disconnects, it goes into a low power mode automatically. I got so used to that. The first couple times I used this thing, I forgot to turn it on, and it didn't charge my phone, which is not good. But it uses USB-C to charge, and it does reverse charging. So if you have it connected to your iPhone like this and plug a USB-C cable into the battery pack, your iPhone will still continue to charge. So this next one, they have been a sponsor of the channel in the past, but it's something, it lives in my backpack now. I don't leave home without it. It's the Paper-like screen cleaner. This thing is so important to have if you work from an iPad. iPad screens get dirty. We have oil on our fingers. We touch the screens. And you can use this for other devices. It doesn't just have to be the iPad. I've used this on my Switch. I've used this on my iPhone. It doesn't just have to be an iPad. So it works on all touchscreen devices. Just really nice to have if you're, working a lot on those devices or touching them. I keep one USB hub in my backpack, and it is the Kensington Knuckleum. This thing has been solid for years. I bought this, I bought this back in 2018 when the iPad originally got USB-C. That is how long I've had this, and it is still going like a champ. It is amazing. So it has 2 USB-C ports. One is for charging, one is for data or connection or whatever. It has 2 USB-A, and it also has SD and micro SD. But it has HDMI at the end right here. And this is what sets it apart from other USB-C hubs. If you just search on Amazon for a USB-C hub, you're gonna get a lot that have HDMI, but it's gonna be HDMI at 30 hertz. This one is at full 60 hertz. So this means when you're doing a presentation and you have animations, those animations are gonna look a lot smoother. At 30 hertz, those aren't gonna look good at all. When I gave my talk at the Final Cut Summit, this is the guy I used. It gave me the ability to do audio out through the USB-C to headphone jack adapter and HDMI. Worked like a champ the whole time, had zero issues with it, and if like there's ever a time you're gonna have issues with a piece of tech, it's when you're giving a talk in front of hundreds of people. Now that I'm back on working straight from the iPad full time, I don't have a service like Backblaze backing up my files when I'm out of the office. I have my NAS here in the office when I'm home, but when I'm out traveling or out and about, I don't have a service or anything backing up my devices. I do not think iCloud backup, I don't trust it. It's not reliable enough in even the backup phase. So I have been using the CalDigit Tough Nano. This is something I've actually had for years, but I've been using this to back up all my footage and photos whenever I'm out shooting. This is an NVMe drive, so it's stupid fast. And when I first reviewed it, like the whole point of this thing, literally it's called a Tough Nano, is it can get beat up. You could drop it. It's not gonna, die. You could drop it. I actually put it in a bowl of water for like a minute, pulled it out and accessed my data right away. And it worked like a champ. It's still been working. Never have had an issue with it. Highly, highly recommend it. Now, when I was putting together this video, I actually noticed they have a new version of this, a 2 terabyte version. I immediately ordered that because I would love more space. This is the 1 terabyte version, I believe. But I would love to have the 2 terabyte version. So I ordered that one instantly. But honestly, like the whole Tough Nano series, solid. CalDigit makes some good stuff. So that's it. That is my travel tech. I want to hear from you all. What is in your bags when you travel tech-wise? What's your favorite piece of tech to bring with you? My thanks to Bassius for sponsoring this video. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great day.